Yo, we are back with another AF stream, October 15th. It's Wednesday, 10:45 p.m. my time. So I don't know where you are watching from. We are streaming across Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Facebook, and here we are. Yesterday I was actually working on Zodiac. We got far, which is great. And today I'm going to continue working on Zodiac and see where we can take it. And I just started also streaming on Facebook. So that's exciting. So if you're watching from Facebook, welcome to AppStream, where we discuss life, music, the making of music, and whatever else that happens to be happening at the time. So today is actually Grammy voting, and I see Jadine in the chat. Hello, Finland. Today is the last day of Grammy voting, and of course, I also have to be on this stream because that's what we do. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I try to be here as much as possible, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do this whole voting process on stream. Of course, I'm not gonna show you the screen because I feel like that's probably not it's not a good idea. But I can tell you, like, the category right now that I'm actually voting on is the best new artist. The best new artist category. So they've kind of changed up the way it would like actually show up between you and me. Hi, I see you in the chat. They used to have it so you can see like from number 1 to whatever, the 200 or whatever. So it was like kind of so you could see like all the like artists or all the voting entries. And this year they have kind of switched it up and it looks just so confusing. Like everything is like kind of actually jumbled, you know? It's like it's like number 218, then it's 38, then it's 192, then it's 234. And I'm like, it's kind of confusing. So anyways, I'm just going to go down the list of the best new artist category. That's one of the categories that I vote in and see who is on there. And I wonder who I'm going to vote for. But yeah, let's just see what the vibe is. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know a lot of these new artists. There's Cat's Eye. I know Cat's Eye. Excuse me. Ooh, when the sneezes come, they don't come in one. They come in like 2 or 3. Dasha. My goodness. Whew. Central C he's on the ballot for the best new artist. Interesting. Who else is on here? There's an artist called Latin Mafia. That's interesting. I don't know who I'm gonna vote for, but I'm just looking at the list of artists. I also don't know if I should disclose who I'm gonna vote for on here, but I am just reading the names that I'm seeing. Not all of them, but some of them that I recognize. Yo, my vision is getting so bad. Just low key, my vision is definitely not great. At some point, I probably should get also LASIK for my eyes. But if you're actually wondering, and if you're just joining the chat, I'm just going down the list of the best new artists, the best new um artist category for the next year's Grammys, and today's the last day of voting, so I take my member duties very seriously, and we need to vote. So I thought, um, why not do this on stream? I don't think anyone in the history of the Grammys has voted on stream. So this within itself is history in the making. Excuse me. Mm, 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 mm. Da 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 da. Ba da ba da la 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 la. Da da la 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 la. Where to go? Where to be to go go? So ba da ba da ba da da. Man, there's so many artists. It's insane. Trying to see everyone as much as possible. Ooh, there's Alex Warren on the ballot. Is that the guy who did the Ordinary song? Yeah, it's him, right? Cool. Where is he from, by the way? Where is Alex Warren? He's from California. Okay, interesting. Okay. Very seriously leaving it to the last day. Hey, I'm the busy man. You're so funny. That's funny. No, I do take it seriously. First and foremost, I don't appreciate you judging me, judging it, but I can appreciate the fact that you make that comment. Uh, my whole life is a very last day kind of guy, man. Whenever I was in school, like I would be studying like last minute or whatever. Anyways, for my actual, senior, for my my like uh senior project in like high school, like they actually give you like the whole year to work on like the senior project. I literally worked on it the night before it was due, and I ran to my teacher and I gave it to her. So yeah, I am a very, very last minute kind of guy, just keeping it real. But I have been looking at some things here and there. So stop judging me, Jadinan. I don't need your judgment. But that was funny. I like it. I like it. Keep it coming. Ooh, Lola Young is on there. Very cool. Lola Young is on there. Uh, nice. Aspa is on there. So that's some like K-pop happening. That's nice. Uh, take my duties very seriously. Hey man, showing up last minute is better than not showing up at all, is what I think. Also, one of the things I love, I do actually love about the Grammys is like the whole actually process of this whole thing is you really get to learn a lot about like what's happening out there and what songs are happening, and it's cool, man. I think like to me that's my favorite part. Of course, being nominated and also winning a Grammy would be nice. Um, but having said that, I do enjoy just kind of digging into these what you may call it, um lists of artists and songs and albums and projects. And it's crazy. I mean, it's just so many categories. So like you can't get to it all. You know what I mean? You really can't. Huh. S- Sarah Landry is on there too. She's like a like a techno, DJ. Um, that's cool. We like a little techno. We like a little techno, especially when it's from a baddie like Sarah. Okay, cool. So this is very confusing. Like again, last year it was so like streamlined, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? But this year it's just jumbled and everything. Like you don't even know like really like what's going on here. Like actually how many? Yo, W's in the chat. I see you. I see Dan Kumar. I see Alicia. I see Phil. See you all here. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm actually just looking at the list for the best new artist for next year's Grammys. And yeah, I think it's over 300 actually entries from what I'm seeing. Because the highest number was like 32. Yeah, like 350 or something like that. And again, I don't think anyone has done this before where they're doing this on like live stream. So you guys kind of get to experience like what like the voting process kind of feels like online. Um, I do need to narrow. So basically now I have to select up to 5 entries. And like the first like process is I just go through the list and I just click on like the artist that I think that should be the best new artist. And now I have to really um narrow it down. Narrow it down. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7, so I have to get rid of 2. Man. Sorry. Sorry. I can't tell you who I'm voting for though, because I feel like that wouldn't be cool. Um all right, there you go. So I got my 5 votes. Um what I can tell you is I'm voting for 3 male artists and 2 female artists. And I feel like all these 5 artists, in their own way, have impacted culture. Musically, they have done something special that's different, and for that reason, that's why I'm voting for these. So, um, bada boom. By the way, can we just say shout out to Facebook for like blowing up my videos on Facebook? We have 4.5 million views, and all the videos that I have posted is with my song actually, bada 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 boom. And because of that, my song is also trending on Facebook. So that's cool to see. It was kind of a surprise. But yeah, 4.5 million. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool to see. Okay, so I did best new artist. That category is done. Should we do song of the year category? Should we do album of the year? Should we do record of the year? Next, which one should we do? Should we do album of the year, song of the year, or record of the year next? You tell me in the chat. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do song of the year. Oh boy. Let's see. these are like the main categories. Like these are like extremely packed jam with like I don't even know how many. I mean, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of songs. Which is kind of interesting too. I mean, I don't know, man. I think every person deserves to be in every category, but sometimes like you do listen to certain things and I'm like, in what way does this artist or does this actually person think this should be like song of the year? So like why would we even like occupy that space? You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Because it really takes away the chance of like really seeing the top notch stuff, you know what I mean? Like um I don't know. Maybe that's just me, you know. Okay, song of the year. It's so hard, man. Because I too messy. Is actually is actually messy on song of the year because I definitely feel like that should be a song of the year candidate. Let's see. Um, song of the year. Messy. Is that on there? Oh yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Um, then there's ordinary. I mean, my guess would be like most likely. I'm guessing that like a ordinary would probably like win the best song of the year because I mean it's just the biggest song of the year. It's the biggest song. It's been the biggest song like ever, pretty much on radio. So I think that's most likely what's gonna win it. But we don't know. We don't know. Um, I'm not gonna lie though, it would be kind of interesting if I got nominated. I'm not really holding my you know breath on it, but it would be interesting if I did get nominated. Again, I have no expectations at all. I just know there's so many different artists and all that. But I mean, Small World, I truly believe does deserve to get the best global album nomination because I mean it's the most global album. Uh, but who knows? Yeah, it's so hard. Like the way they have um they have this all set up. It's not easy to see what's happening. There are so many. Like how is anyone going to like really be able to actually vote for every song? Like this is one thing that I don't agree with the way they have set this up. Um, yeah, it's impossible to know. Um, honestly, it's like it is pretty rough. All right. Okay. All right. Best new album. Non-classical. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. By the way, don't worry. I'm gonna be finishing this up soon, and we'll get to the music. I do want to work on Zodiac more. Um, we have gotten really far, and I think it all sounds really really great. But I want to work on some like snare rolls and build ups and stuff like that. Um, so I'm probably gonna do that. Um, right after this. Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. They definitely don't make this easy. They don't make it easy on you. Uh, uh, okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Lola. LA. Ordinary. Ooh, Chris Brown on that best pop solo performance. Cool. All right, so I think we are good to go. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Best of luck to everyone, really. Lovely. Okay. Cool. I think my votes have been submitted and we are good to go. And that was that. And that is how the Grammy voting basically works. And once you submit your votes, that is it. There's not much else you can do. And that's that. I do want to get in. I do want to get to Zodiac because I'm excited to finish this record. And let's see what it sounds like. So I need to get some snare build-up thing. Okay, that might work, but I need to change the actual timing of it because that's not going to work with this time signature. No. I may have to do it in a different way. Let's see. I want like a kind of a retro 909 snare. That one is cool. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop that into this guy. We have to take down the buffer size, which I've already have, and then yeah. Okay, let's see if we can use that to build some tension. Okay, nice. Just, you know, building a bit of a tension before that big, you know, moment happens. basically I just made this snare roll, and that sounds like this. And I slowly fade it in, and it kind of creates this nice tension. There is a sound that needs to be louder. Okay, let's see. What sounds do we have here? Um, okay, now I have to. Now I want to just do a bit of a little, uh, details and like transitional stuff and making it all sounding cool. Actually, I have to take this phone call. 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. Sorry, I'm back. I just had to take that phone call. Urgent stuff, but we are back. Okay. Okay, let's see what we are at. Maybe we can add like a little effects thing. Like maybe that. I don't know. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that sounds cool. See, I just love sounds like that. They're just not conventional sounding, and it kind of makes you think, like, what is that sound? You know? It's like. I just love sounds like it's just weird, but it kind of like makes you think, you know. And also the placement of it is very important. I think I want it on that same time as the snare. Like that, maybe. That's cool. That piano sound was so buried in the mix. Cool. Happy Zodiac Wednesday. So if you have just joined the chat, I added a few things and I turned up a few sounds that were kind of buried in the mix. But I wanted to add like a snare roll. So I kind of added this snare roll and also this like kind of tension synth builder thing. It's like an effect. Ah, come on. And then I gotta turn the sound up as well. Again, we want every element to be bold and have its own space. So this is a great transitional sound and it needs to come in louder. And I kind of like how it creeps up. I just want it a little bit louder in the very beginning. Yeah, the piano was like really quiet, and what I was actually missing, because the melody, it's a tricky one. Again, it's like there's like a call and response thing that kind of happens, and I kind of missed the, like when you so before, like I didn't have the piano here, so without the piano I feel like that response is like there is nothing there, you know, but I feel like the piano kind of makes that answer more satisfying. You know what I mean? So, you know, also now the breathing synth thing also kind of works as like da, 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 and then the piano goes bam, and then the thing goes da, 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 piano bam, and then the thing goes you know, versus before it was like da, 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 nothing, da, 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 nothing. So anyways, it was also, so it kind of works on like a rhythmic level as well. Am I feeling better today? A little bit. Not great, but a little bit. I feel that there is like flare-ups in my back and inflammation and stuff. That's how I feel. You know, when you feel like not 100% like healthy, I'm not feeling 100% healthy, but that's okay. That's okay. God is great. We got. Um, it could be worse. And we'll kind of get to the bottom of it next month. November 10th is when I have uh my operation. But yeah, so that's what I kind of added to all this stuff. Oh, and also if you missed the beginning of the stream, and if you want to go back and watch, you can. I was just it's the last day of voting for the Grammys. It's the 15th. That's when like the voting kind of closes, and I voted in the basically some of the categories, and like the best new artist and stuff like that. So I was just kind of going down the list, and I did my voting like a good member, and now we're here doing this. So I added this sound, and I feel like it's a cool sound. I do feel like it needs its own reverb. And let's see. Oh, that's too long. So without it, kind of fades pretty quickly, but with the reverb, kind of makes it a little bit more intentional. It's a really cool sound, and I don't know, it's just different. And I feel like, why not? I'm going to bounce it in place though. Nice. Yeah, I mean, maybe you have trapped energy. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see what can be with this, with like the visuals and stuff like that. And also I got the master back for Palm Tree on Fire, and it sounds so good. So excited. That's definitely gonna be the next single. I'm gonna work on it, and figure out actually what is the date today. It's October 15th. So I could most likely put that out like November 7th. Like, why not? So November 7th could be a good date potentially for Palm Tree on Fire. And it sounds really good. wonder what would happen if I just made this very loud. You know what I was wondering is I was wondering what would happen just for fun. Just for fun. We have a violin to play the because who knows, maybe I would do have to be like, hey Linz, do you want to jump on this? But let me see. I don't know. There is something about the long notes of the violin. But let's see. It's a beautiful melody. It's so funny how. Do you know what's so funny, by the way? Jadinen is in the chat too, from Finland. Both Jadinen and also Kim know me through Lindsay, or my work with Lindsay. And as soon as the violin comes out, there's this common thing that happens. It is definitely like my top favorite actually instruments, like top 3. Like basically as a kid I was just always drawn to it, and that's probably why actually Lindsay and I work so well together, because I can understand her point of view when it comes to her violin. Okay, let's see. Just for funsies. It really does something. Audio. Thank you, Jarinan. I love you. Even though you made fun of me for showing up so late to the Grammy voting, but my sound guy. It's this stupid thing that happens when I change the cameras. Like there's this actual input that like doubles the input. Anyways, so thank you for pointing it out. It should sound better now. Aw, that's so sweet. Okay, let's see what it sounds like. That is what actually Lindsay would do. This would be a cool song with Lindsay. I mean, it's not a joke though. I really feel like this could be an interesting collab for us. And I think she would actually like the song. The only thing is, it's like I always hate to kind of tell her to stick to like the melody that I came up with. But the thing is, like, the composition of this is so important. and I don't know like how well that would go over. Who knows? But this is an interesting idea. Just the violin does something to the track. Question. Is actually Lindsay on tour right now, or is she on tour? I wonder. Or is she here? Because I know she's been posting a lot on from tour. I think she's on tour, right? Uh, yeah, she's on tour. Oh, actually, hmm. Yeah, I think she's on tour. Yeah. Let you know. Let's see what wants to happen. Um, that would be a good one to do together. Um, if it all aligns. Christmas tour starts in 1 month. Um, right. Yeah, she's probably in rehearsals. We'll probably won't be able to see her until next year. Her last show was last week. Ah, okay. So I wonder if she's back or not. I wonder. Oh, I wonder. Ah, man, I've been sleeping. I don't know what's been happening, but I've been having this like stiff, like neck for the past couple of days. Ah, the only thing I can wish for all of us is just like absolute health. Because the second there's something not right in your body, oh my God, man, the quality of your life just shifts. Her first Xmas show is November 18th, so she's right between tours. Right. I mean, she's right in between tours, but she's probably doing like rehearsals for her Christmas tour. Most likely, me knowing her and doing like 50 other things at once. It's just incredible. um, but it's a it would be a cool thing. Violin on keyboard sounds so weird. Sounds like notes change too smoothly or something. Yeah, so I know that's a really good ear. And it's a really good catch. What I can so I can show you, as you can see, uh here I can change the view to this so you can see it better. So there are different modes. This is the sustained porta. So basically what it does is it kind of glides between notes, right? But if I change it to say like sustained finger, it would be is more like staccato, right? Or sustained bowed. So it would be like, so it's like in between the two. And then this is more like glidey, like. Lost girls find a way. Lost girl find a way. That one is nice too. But you know, of course, man, nothing beats the real thing. In like, you know, like you know, to me, I think like the whole conversation also with like actually AI and stuff like that, like these things are all great tools. Like for me, like to be able to actually, you know, to actually you know, share my idea of like, hey, like I have this idea with like a violin part. It's so much easier for say for like, you know, someone and Lindsay, you know, to hear it like in this context, and she can actually be like, ah, okay, this sounds cool. And then the real thing happens. So much different than like if I just played this on the keyboard. It just I couldn't. This is just a good reference to have. The real thing is completely different. Now, of course, it's much harder because you have to record it, you have to process it. You know, the violin just doesn't sound good like raw. Like this sounds good by itself because there's like a nice little, like a nice, you know, verb on it. There's like processing on it. It's all these things, right? And also like the actual violin here that you know you're seeing, this is like $1 million violin. You know what I mean? Like it's a crazy violin. The Stradivari violin, which is like a very rare thing, you know. But yeah, there's nothing like the real thing. But when it actually comes down to like the VST plugin for like a violin, like this sounds pretty darn like good. Ah, see, now I'm just like, we just want to play all day. But yeah, I think it would add a lot to this record, man. See, I do like the I like that little glide. such a beautiful and powerful melody too. It does something. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna play it. And then we'll just have it. And then we'll see what happens. Okay, so let me just it sounds beautiful. Yes, I agree with you, Kim. Let me just call up Lindsay real quick and see what she's doing. Let's see if she picks up. She probably won't answer, but let's see. Back from tour. The tour blues.
Please leave your message.
Yeah, that's right. That. Well, that would have been cool, but it's one of those things. I just always love like the organic part of stuff where it's like you have an idea and it's like, oh, it's on stream and you can watch, and you guys been actually watching it, and I'm like, you know what? Let me see if she's here. And if she was, it would have been cool. Like, yo, come through. But for now, we shall play it on the keyboard. By the way, yeah, for sure. Now, you know, since we have taken it here, I do wonder like what other like artist could be an interesting choice to bring in to add to the top melody. I don't know, like are there any other artists that that we think it would be an interesting thing? Because again, at this stage, right? So the track is like done and I can just, it's fine. But it's like, okay, now how can we make this, how can we even push it further and see like where it can land? Because when you actually push yourself to do something that is kind of outside of what is happening right now, regardless of it happening or not, it's just going to make you to think differently about the track. And who knows, maybe something weird will happen. But I do feel like that the violin does something. I mean, being that it's one of my favorite instruments. So I don't know what other artist or like an instrumentalist louder too. Would be interesting, maybe a little bit. Nice. What was I thinking? Oh, what I was thinking is perhaps a crash would be interesting. See, not like all crashes are the same. So you want something that really goes with. That's nice. I like this sound. That's a nice crash. Only if I could get it on the right channel. Okay, this is a nice crash sound. And see, you don't want that crash on like the one. You want it to wait and go. That's like the impact of the. Gotta make sure it hits at the same time. Where is the hit? Oh, here. Okay, little guy. Come with me. Up here. Right. And this has to come down here. So it goes. Let's see. It's not hitting the right way though. Maybe like that. I just wonder. I wonder. So you kind of get this delay thing with the crash. Let's run it back from the top. Also, I was wondering, I'm gonna mute the melody, the main melody thing for a second and just listen to the backing track. So basically, why I muted the main melody, it really actually lets you hear everything else. And if you and if you need to make any adjustments, then it's much easier. Like for example, like this sound, it's a really cool sound. It is kind of buried, so make it louder. Just like the moral of the story is just don't be shy about it, about anything. Be bold. Make your statement with everything that you do. By the way, we are streaming across Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Yeah. So if you're watching on Facebook, shout out to you. I can see people watching here. I can see Mary J, Carla, Sarah, Joanne, Candace. A lot of ladies joining the chat here. You know what is so funny too? I think like if you see like my fan base, especially like on my IG and Facebook and stuff, I think it's like 68% or 70% like female. Don't know why, but it's interesting. But anyways, shout out to everyone watching. Sounds very clean. Everything has space. You hear? Cool. I think I want the bass to hit a little harder. And we can use a multiband compressor for that. Let's see. It's a really cool like bass line. When you solo it, you can kind of hear what's being kind of enhanced, and that actually part of the signal is where like the groove of the bass sits, so it really like kind of brings it out, so it really works well with the kick and stuff, you know. It's crazy how it sounds great to begin with, but if you listen now, you can hear the difference in the cleanup. Of course, like you just have to always know, like whatever it is that you're doing, it could be better. It's weird, but also it's almost like when actually Michelangelo, like when he started to kind of sculpt David, right? He started with like a slab of marble, and he stopped the chiseling when David appeared, right? So when David is there, then you're like, all right, we are good. We're not gonna continue. So I think you just got to keep going until you see your David, whatever the David is. So as a sculptor of sound, you have to continue to push yourself, you know, and really that's what sets apart the you know, that there's like this slim line between like what's good and what's great, and when something is great, it's never heard, it's felt. And like all this stuff that I'm doing here means nothing to the average ear, but it will stand the test of time. When you play it in 20 years, you're gonna be like, man, how the fuck did they think about that? Because when you see the scope of music production and like the tricks and stuff like that, you know, sometimes you go back and listen to some things, it's like, man, like this just sounds so like ahead of its time, but also it just sounds like now because it's like forever. So I think this is that, you know. And then also sometimes you do something and then you listen back, you're like, man, I just made this worse. So you just don't know. I think the actual tinkering of just have to tinker. I think it's a beautiful place to be in like the creative process, just like the constant tinkering. Again, until David appears, and then you're like, okay, David, you're here. I see your penis. Until you see the penis of David, then you know, just keep tinkering. That was funny. If there was a live audience here, I think we'd be all laughing. But I feel like that was a funny joke. Maybe I should call this the penis of David. Sometimes I like to use the SSL channel. Not sometimes, I use it all the time. But when it comes to certain things, you see like the filter. This filter is amazing, and I want to roll off pretty much everything that is happening below like 98 hertz, even more. It just makes it tighter. That was hilarious. Thank you. I got one laugh. But you know exactly what I mean. I'm just gonna collect all the drums together under one situation. Okay, so I can see when the snare roll is rolling up, you see that little bump right here. I'm going to sidechain the kick to that little bump because then it won't overshadow the kick, because you want the kick to be constantly present. And it kind of gives that snare roll like a bounce. It's almost like a bounce. So you know what I mean? And instead of it being so straight, it just like blends in better. Then you also want a fast attack and a fast release. Then you can kind of play around with how much of it. That's fine here, I guess. So like, this is my like actually mixing process. If you've been here since the beginning of actually Zodiac, like how it actually came about, like, you know, like I mix as I go, and I make sure every sound is really, really great, like in the beginning, because a great mix starts at the source. But then also, this is like pretty much like like, towards the end, right? Like there's not so much compositional stuff happening or like sound design. It's more about like making sure everything sounds good and fits kind of nicely together. What I actually do is I do a lot of soloing. So I solo like just like the drums and the bass because excuse me, the drums and the bass is like the foundation of most tracks. And just, making sure it's all clean, tight and nice, Uh excuse me. I might be falling apart, guys. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm not even gonna put that out there. But and then these are the little nuggets of thingies that I like. You know what I mean? Like it adds so much. Listen to that. Sick. And then we bring in the crash and the other thing that we added. And let's see what happens. And you see, then you catch these little moments because I kind of like that how it's clean like this. It just hits harder. And I know these haze. Okay. Let's see what else is happening. Drum wise. I'm gonna call this save as 2 because I'm just gonna start deleting things because I don't need these things. Like I had that before, all these other stuff, but I'm just gonna get rid of them. We don't need them. Cleaning up. Okay. Now we're gonna bring back the melody. Or the music, the synths. Yeah, I have no idea, but watching the frequencies is like a tickle in the brain for me. The audiovisual simulation, I suppose, for sure. Actually, I've been wanting to I'm trying to like find a good like a actual visualizer, like this one isn't great, but I want to have like a really cool, I mean there's some really cool ones out there, so I can just like have it on the screen as the music plays. I think it's just kind of a nice engaging way of these are okay. Yeah, definitely. There is a really cool one that I want to get. I kind of forget the name, but I have to ask my friend. It's really cool. If you've ever played around with like a Serato DJ system, it's kind of a similar thing. It's really awesome. So, but I don't have that right now. So this is all we can work with. Wow is right. There is something about that violin that glides. I found my new work track. I can't wait until this is out. It keeps me locked in. Feels amazing. And you've been a part of every single part of, so you know exactly why and how and everything happened. And the thing is too, like once it's out, like you'll be able to really hear it, because again on stream, like this is not like the best quality for the sound of it. So once like it's finalized and really mixed and mastered, and once you'll be able to hear it, it's like I'll make sure it sounds incredible. Ooh, that vocal thing should be louder too. Where is the vocal thingy dingy dingy ding? Oh, down here. Yeah, it's this thing right here. Learning to appreciate music from this side has been such a blessing. I thought I loved it before, but learning how it comes to life is everything. Also, I'm beginning to find that my love for music is not only in the music, but more so in the connection behind the music. It's beautiful and empowering. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, and, to me, honestly, before I started, doing the streams, like, I just thought what I do is like pretty, like, it's pretty boring, if that makes any sense. And it really takes a certain type of person to really appreciate this. It's almost like just, seeing a painting from like a blank canvas, and then you just kind of point, you just kind of put paint, you just basically put, pen to paper, and you put like the paint on the brush, and like the brush to the canvas, and mix colors, and you kind of find out about new colors, because if you mix that color with this color, and then then you make a picture, and then the picture is like, oh, that's cool, but like, what if I added this thing to it? Then that picture kind of morphs into this other thing, and this other thing is like, is what's convincing. I don't know. I feel like that whole process within the music, like the music, like the music, making process, I just thought it was kind of boring before I started this, before, doing the streams. So again, it was a stretch for me to feel comfortable to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna press stream now, just go to work as I do every single day. And 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 it's and it's really, really cool to see that it's something that, you know like, when I find out about, you know uh like, actually, people like yourself who really appreciate it, like, on this level, it just makes me happy, because it is a very specific vibe, and it's not for the average person. I don't know if it's for the average person. I personally wish it was for the average person. I wished, like, the average person would watch it and be like, oh, like, when I watch this, I don't know. But I hope I make it as kind of digestible and as easy as possible. I really try to. Um and it just makes me happy that it makes you happy and makes you feel empowered. Um and your ferocity to chase what you want is what makes it beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. And to be honest with you, what makes it even more beautiful for me personally is like the ferocity when I'm not feeling at my 100%. That's the part that I can sit here and say, it just is what it is. But this work brings me so much joy. I mean, this is I love doing this. I really, really do. And I got stuck 1 second. Oh, come on. There's certain sometimes, you know, like, it's like something happens. It's like a 1 in a million shot. Like, literally, my, like, actual monitors got stuck behind my chair. It's a it's a 1 in a million shot. Hold on 1 sec. Come on. The fuck? So weird. All right. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, this whole thing kind of brings me so much, you know, so much joy, and I'm just happy that it makes you happy too. That's a beautiful thing. Because, there is so much, like, I listen to this over and over and over again, and that's just the process of it. Someone asked me, like, you know when do you know when, like, a track is done? And I'm like, when I hate it. When I hate it and I can't listen to it anymore, it's done. Get it out of here. No, I'm kidding. I love it. I love all of it. But, sometimes you just have to step away too and kind of get, like, a freshness into it. But yeah, but I came back to this literally a couple of days ago, and I was like, all right, I need to make this happen, that happen. It's all coming together. see what's making that. Okay, and then okay, I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit because it's a little loud. Pretty cool. Let me change the buffer size. We have one more listen. And then I'll bounce it out. I'm so proud of this record. And I think that's pretty much it, at least for now. I'll have one last listen on the speakers later, and then I'll do a bounce. Then we'll do some test drives and see what feels good. And who knows? Maybe we'll finalize this one too, and it'll come out after Palm Trees on Fire. But for now, Palm Trees on Fire is the next actually release. I have to work on the cover art, and that's gonna be fun. I have some ideas for it. And the master sounds amazing. I'll come on tomorrow again. Tomorrow's Wednesday or Thursday, so Zodiac Wednesday. Happy Zodiac Wednesday, as Kim said. And if you're watching on Facebook, thank you for following along. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or Kick or wherever you're watching from, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have the most amazing day, night, wherever you are. And hope this was fun for you as much as it was fun for me. And I will see you on the other side tomorrow. Okay, peace. Bye.